What's good, YouTube? Masex back with another video, and today we're going to be looking at Mel Kiper Jr.'s recently released top 10 quarterbacks for the 2024 draft. Let's go ahead and get straight to it. If you haven't already, go ahead and like and subscribe. Helps the channel grow, and we are still on that quest to 1K subscribers. So definitely, if you're a football fan, you love football, come on. What you waiting on? But without further ado, let's get to it. All right, starting the list off, number one, Mel Kiper's number one ranked quarterback, still Caleb Williams. Caleb Williams out of USC, 6'1", about 220 pounds. I've talked about him, and if you're a football fan, you've heard the millions of positive notes about Caleb Williams. Stock has taken a hit, I'd say, over the last month or so. It's not as hot as it was, but when you're projecting a quarterback at the next level, you can't be prisoner of the moment. You got to look at him as its totality in his career and what you think he'll do at the next level. And I am all on board with Caleb Williams still being number one. At number two, nothing's changed. We got Drake May out of North Carolina. We still got a lot of time between now and the NFL draft. It wouldn't surprise me at this point if Drake May were to be the number one QB drafted compared to at the beginning of the season. I thought it was locked and loaded, kind of like Trevor Lawrence, where you knew he was going to be the first pick. I still feel that way, but let's just say I'm not as shocked. Drake May has all the intangibles that you want to look for. He checks a lot of the boxes, and it's not like he has the most loaded talent at North Carolina as far as O-line, running backs, wide receivers. He does a lot with a little in comparison to a lot of the other Power 5 QBs on this list. All right, at number three, Kiper has Shadur Sanders out of Colorado. Of course, still at the time of this recording has not been official if he's going to declare early for the NFL draft or if he's going to stay for his senior year at Colorado. Still don't know, but nothing's changed. He's been pretty high on Shadur Sanders. He's had him as his third-ranked quarterback of the class. Can pretty much make every throw. He's a sniper. He's an assassin, picking the defense apart, and that's with an inferior offensive line and an inferior running back. Good chance that Colorado will be much better with another recruiting class going in, and he could be possibly the number one quarterback next year. All right, and at number four, we got some changes now. Kiper has Jaden Daniels out of LSU, listed as his number 4 ranked quarterback in this class. I know in my recently released top 5 QBs, a lot of people insinuated that I must be drug tested for not having Jaden Daniels. And it's not like I didn't think he was good at all. I just didn't have him in the top 5. Now he's in this top 5. His stock continues to rise. It wouldn't surprise me if he is a first-round pick in the 24 draft. He's a dual threat guy. A lot taller than I thought, actually. He's listed at 6'4", pretty slender frame. He's listed around 200 pounds. It wouldn't surprise me if he's sub 200 pounds at this moment right now. Started his career at Arizona State. I remember hearing about him in the Pac-12 his true freshman year, but went to the SEC, and that was the best thing for him. He's been balling out ever since, competing in the SEC championship game against Georgia last year. This year, obviously from a team perspective, didn't reach the same heights, but individually, Jaden Daniels been balling. You look at his touchdown to interception ratio is off the charts, over 1,000 yards rushing. I mean, the man's the real deal in the college level. I still have my concerns at the NFL level, but no doubt Jaden Daniels is definitely working his way up the list. All right, number 5, we got J.J. McCarthy out of Michigan. 6'3", 200 pounds. I like J.J. McCarthy. Had a lot of hype coming out of high school. 4-star recruit according to 24/7 Sports. He definitely has the arm talent, and it's no surprise. That's what you would expect for a high 4-star recruit. He's a naturally gifted thrower. I do like from a mental aspect, he shows up in the big games. When they play Ohio State, when they play Penn State, he shows up. And he plays really well. They're a run-dominant team, but he finds a way to make plays to take control of the game as well, and I really like that. At all 3 levels, he's a threat. You got to respect it. At number 6, we have Bo Nix out of Oregon. Now, Bo Nix, in my top 5 video, I had him at number 5. Mel Kiper has him at number 6. like I said with McCarthy, Jaden Daniels, a lot of movement's going to happen. Is an older prospect. This is his 5th year in college. He'll be 24. So yes, he does have a lot of experience. And as I've said in previous videos, you do wonder the ceiling of an older guy. He's definitely made one of the biggest leaps in college football today as far as active players, from where he started and where his stock was 2 years ago compared to how he's developed his game at this moment in time. At number 7, Mel Kiper Jr. has Michael Penix Jr., which for me, I think this is pretty low down the list. I think Michael Penix is definitely a first-round type of talent. Similar to Bo Nix, he's been in the college ranks for a long time, 2018, starting at IU. Similar to Bo Nix, has completely transformed his game. As an IU fan, I was excited for Michael Penix when he showed up at IU. He was a different type of quarterback than we were used to from a talent perspective. But he was dual threat. At Washington, he's a pure pocket passer, an air raid system, and I mean, he's letting it rip 40 times a game, chucking the ball downfield, has really good deep ball accuracy. I love that lefty throwing motion. It's not ideal from an NFL scouting perspective, but I just like how he throws that ball and rips it out of his hands. Like I said, doesn't run the ball. First couple years at IU, every season was lost due to a season-ending injury. He's aware of that, and he sticks in the pocket and he gets rid of the ball. A complete transformation, but transformation for the better. Because to me, he is positionally a top 5 quarterback. Mel Kiper's a little bit lower. I can understand the questions, the medical concerns. All right, at number 8, we have Quinn Yates out of Texas. Had a perfect rating coming out of high school, a lot of hype. I believe at this moment in time, he has not lived up to the hype. Though Texas is having a hell of a year, got into the playoffs this year, he's a big part of that. From an NFL prospects perspective, I don't think he's ready yet. And even at this moment in time, it's still more likely that he returns to Texas for his senior year. And I think that that's more likely, especially if he's falling down the ranks. There's no point in coming out. And a lot of people want Arch Manning to play next year, but I think that Quinn Ewers is more likely going to come back. All right, and looking at number 9, Mel Kiper Jr. has Jordan Travis out of Florida State as his 9th ranked quarterback. This list was put together before the devastating injury that Jordan Travis sustained. But I do think that if he were to come out this year, that 7-10 range would have been where he was drafted. All right, and last but not least, rounding out the top 10 for Mel Kiper, we have Michael Pratt, quarterback out of Tulane. First heard of Michael Pratt last year as Tulane had a hell of a season, even beat USC in the bowl game. Now at the college level, obviously he's definitely done very good. Tulane is more recognized than they ever were the last 2 years. I'm not too sure on an NFL level if he'd be a starter at any point, to be honest, but he is really good in bootleg play action type of plays. And Michael Pratt also has enough mobility to keep you honest. More of a short to intermediate route type of guy, doesn't really have the arm strength to really push it down the field. He's more of a one progression read and then take off type of quarterback, but if I were to rank, I probably would have him around the 9, 10, 11 spot. All right, there you have it. These are Mel Kiper Jr.'s top 10 quarterbacks for the 2024 draft class. A lot's going to change still between now and April. There's a consensus to the most part of the top 3, the top 4, you could say, for the quarterbacks, but there's still going to be movement with all that we have going on from now to draft day. But like I always say, if you made it this far in the video, I deeply appreciate it. If you haven't already, go ahead and go ahead and subscribe. Not only would I deeply appreciate it, but it helps the channel grow by letting others see this video. With all that said, I'm gonna go ahead and let you guys go, and I'll see you in the next video.